I've driven this route probably 100 times. It's always around 24 minutes, except the one time it really mattered, when it took 47. That was the morning of a job interview. I'd checked the route the night before. I'd even checked it again every 20 minutes before I left. Google Maps said 26 minutes. I left with half an hour to spare. I arrived with just 6 minutes to spare. And the whole way there, Maps was completely calm. No warnings, no rerouting. It just quietly watched me nearly miss one of the most important mornings of that year. And here's what got me. The route wasn't wrong. The timing wasn't a fluke. It was just unreliable in a way that Maps never told me about. So I started to wonder, is Google Maps actually solving the wrong problem? Here's the thing about Google Maps. It is actually very good at what it does. The problem is what it is trying to do. Google Maps, at its core, is trying to minimize your average travel time. It wants to get you there faster, on average, than any other route. Imagine two routes between the same 2 points. Route A, it takes 22 minutes, every single time, like clockwork. Route B, sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 40, depends on the day. On average, Route B is faster. Which one do you think Google Maps picks? The answer seems obvious, right? Just take the reliable one. Except when I actually went and tested this on real roads. Something I didn't expect happened. Route B. It picks Route B because the average is lower. And honestly, that is not irrational. If you are a logistics company optimizing thousands of deliveries, minimizing average time across the whole fleet is exactly the right thing to do. You will save real time in aggregate. But you are not a logistics algorithm. You are a person with a flight at 7 a.m. You are a person with a job interview at 9. A person with the last train at 11:15 p.m. A person who, if they are 5 minutes early, fine. If they are 10 minutes late, it's over. Route A, 22 minutes, every time. You know exactly what you're getting. Route B, average of 20 minutes, but the range is 15 to 40. If your meeting starts in 30 minutes, Route A gets you there comfortably every single time. Route B gets you there early sometimes, and catastrophically late others. Google Maps chose Route B because Google Maps doesn't know you have a hard deadline. It is optimizing for average. You need to optimize for reliability. But here's the thing. I still hadn't tested whether this plays out on actual roads. So I did. I wanted to find out how unstable real routes actually are. Not in theory, in practice, on the same roads at the same time of day. I drove the same 2 routes at the same time of morning across 10 separate days. I expected Route A to win easily. Steady, predictable, boring. Route B was faster on most days, genuinely faster. If I'd been going somewhere with no hard deadline, it would have been the right call every time. But one day in 10, it wasn't 15 minutes. It was 38. No warning, no obvious reason, just 38 minutes. And if I'd been relying on it for a flight or a train or an interview, that one day would have been the day that mattered. One day in 10 sounds acceptable until you realize that you don't get to choose which day the variance hits. What I have just described has a name. The spread of those times, how far away they are from the average, it's called variance. And it's the thing that Google doesn't show you. 2 routes, same average. Completely different behavior. One is predictable, one is the gamble. The average tells you what happens on a normal day. The variance tells you what happens when things go wrong. So the right question isn't which route is fastest. It is which route can I trust? And the right question about your departure time isn't when does Maps say I will arrive? It's what buffer do I need so that even on a bad day I still make it? Route B's worst case was 18 minutes over the average. And that is your buffer. Google Maps won't calculate that for you. But now you know to ask. Once you see this pattern, it is everywhere. Airlines build buffer time into their schedules. A flight that takes 1 hour 40 minutes in the air gets a 2-hour slot. That is not padding for incompetence. That's variance management. They'd rather land early than strand a plane full of people missing connections. When someone senior asks you if you can hit a deadline, they are not asking, can you do it if everything goes perfectly? They are asking, can I rely on you? That's a variance question. And your answer should be based on your worst case estimate, not the best case one. In both cases, the average doesn't protect you. The reliability does. Don't get me wrong. This video is not a critique of Google Maps. I still use it every day. But now when I use it for something that really matters, a flight, an interview, a meeting I cannot afford to arrive late at, I just don't blindly follow the routes I am given. I ask the question, how much does it vary? What is the worst case, and do I have enough buffer for the bad day? Because here's what I've come to think about Google Maps. It tells you what is likely. It doesn't tell you what's risky. And for most journeys, likely is good enough. But for the ones that do matter, you need to know the difference.